Glen Burnie, Maryland, back at Michael's 8th Avenue for Ballroom Boxing. Hi, everybody. I'm Larry Michael. Great to be back with Jon Saraceno. And you know, the Ballroom is the place where dreams are made and realized, and sometimes careers are broken. On paper, things look competitive. Sometimes, though, the unexpected happens, and that's something special that happens here in the Ballroom.
Well, we get very good fights because it's really a level playing field. The promoter doesn't have any interest in these fighters that we see on our show. So it's really, there's no situation of a house fighter gaining an unfair advantage. You'll see that in big fights and small fights, not here at Michael's 8th Avenue.
Now, you know, Michael's 8th Avenue and Ballroom Boxing, the word has spread. We are coast to coast, entertaining boxing fans nationwide. And, John, we've been to Las Vegas. We've been to the World Championship fights and all the great casinos. There's something special, though, in the Ballroom. How can you put your finger on it, or can you?
Well, part of it, Larry, is the proximity. The fighters, you know, are right there for the fans. Everybody's on top of the action. It's good grassroots boxing. They get to see fighters that are local fighters from Maryland, D.C., Virginia, and now the Wagners as promoters, they're bringing in fighters from all over the country, so this thing is getting bigger and better.
Well, we are ready. We hope you are as well. The first fight is next. It's Ballroom Boxing. Ballroom Boxing is brought to you by Toyota, by Geico Direct, by Budweiser, the king of beers, and by 0to80.com outlet for e-business. We're back to the Ballroom. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno in the ring right now. The exciting Ebo Elder is unbeaten. Let's see if he stays that way here in the Ballroom tonight. Let's go to Pat O'Malley for the official introductions.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The Maryland State Athletic Commission and Ballroom Boxing promoter Scott Wagner and matchmaker Josh Hall present the 6th-round bout in the welterweight division. The referee in charge is Kenny Chevalier. Judging the bout, John Gradowski, Bill Holmes, and Don Risher. Introducing the boxers. First to my left, out of the blue corner, wearing the maroon trunks trimmed in white, weighing 143 1/4 pounds, from Laurel, Maryland, with a record of 5-7-1, 2 by KO. Please welcome Luis Dinamita, in English, that's small dynamite, Rosales. To my right, out of the red corner, wearing the bright gold trunks, weighing 141 pounds. He hails from Newman, Georgia. He has a perfect record, 7-0, 4 via the KO. Please welcome to Michael's Ebo, the Extreme Machine, Elder.
Ebo Elder with the M&M look tonight. Jon Saraceno with the matchup.
Well, we see virtually identical numbers, except for the height. Elder, a little bit taller, 3 inches. And he's got that undefeated record.
Now, we've seen Alberto Rosales in the Ballroom before. He is known as an upset specialist. And if he upsets Ebo Elder tonight, it would be one of the biggest upsets we've seen in the Ballroom. Elder coming in 7-0, 4 knockouts, great amateur career, had 125 wins as an amateur.
And a great name.
Absolutely, Double E. The Extreme Machine.
Look at those drawers. Those are fancy looking trunks.
Right out of the Jon Saraceno wardrobe collection. I've seen you step out in something fancier than that, John.
That would be from a psychotic night I would have, or come up with something like that.
Back in the old days, you would put those trunks to shame.
J.D. Brown, who has worked with Sugar Ray Leonard and a lot of fighters, some of the fighters we've seen tonight, says this Ebo Elder can really fight, really likes it.
Big right hand, left hand, I should say, right on the button by Elder.
Strong
and another
puncher.
left.
Yep.
And Rosales is wobbled. The left hand right down the pipe. Overhand left by Rosales. Elder has those hands held high. He's got a lot of power in that left hand. Rosales catches a combination from Elder. Blood from the nose already from Rosales.
The way Rosales is catching right now, he looks a lot like Ivan Rodriguez. He is catching fastball after fastball. You see how short Rosales is. Listed as 5'4". I'm not sure if he's 5'2".
Boy, that left hand is punishing Rosales.
He's going to be in our lap, Larry, in about 2 seconds.
Well, he's got some heart, though, battling back off the ropes. And Elder gives him respect, backs away. Last fight for Ebo Elder was a first-round knockout. And in fact, his last 2 fights in December of last year, both first-round KOs.
Well, Rosales must have a lot of practice trying to fight inside. He's got to make himself elusive. There you see him ducking some shots, but yet with the short arms, it's hard to land.
Rosales is known as a tough guy and an upset specialist. It's going to have to be tough to stay in with Elder. Kenny Chevalier to wipe off the gloves of Rosales.
It's the second time he slipped.
Elder working the right jab right now, keeping Rosales off balance. Big punch, I guess it was a right that time, and Rosales is really wobbled now.
Wow, Ebo is some puncher.
And he is quick with the power. Rosales says he's okay. I think that was a right hand.
You want to know something? This Ebo kid might be the best pound-for-pound puncher we've ever seen on the Ballroom Boxing Series.
Working from a distance. Elder has countered Rosales, caught him coming in, caught him backing away. A clinic performed in the first round by Ebo Elder from Georgia here in the Ballroom. Impressive in the first round. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Rosales tastes the canvas in the first round. Elder, it was a right hand.
Right hand, slipped it right in between the shots.
I thought it was a right. He's so quick. The first one was a left hand. The second knockdown was with the right. So Elder with power in both fists here tonight. The Extreme Machine, Ebo Elder. From Newman, Georgia. Taking the trip north, Rosales wobbled again.
Rosales is in a real storm right now.
His legs are beginning to go. Rosales, as tough as he is not tough enough to stand up against Ebo Elder.
You know what? When a guy's pressuring you this way, can't afford to play him cheap either.
Another left hand by Elder.
Because Rosales keeps applying pressure. It's not been real effective so far. He's been caught several times coming in. But he's doing the right thing. He's not trying to fight him from the outside, which of course he'd be unable to do because of his size.
Rosales bleeding from the nose, swelling around the eyes. Elder in command.
See how high Ebo Elder holds those gloves.
Let him go, let him go!
Good body work by Elder on the ropes. Good left hand by Elder.
Rosales really taking some punishment here in the second round. Wobbling and goes to the canvas
balance
for the third time in this fight.
Well, Elder being a southpaw, Rosales trying to throw the lead right hand and just stumbling across the ring, totally off balance.
Rosales being outclassed by Ebo Elder here tonight. Elder from a distance is devastating with the power. And he showed in the first round in close as well with a short right hand. John, this is the reason we keep coming back. This is the reason the fans keep coming back to Michaels. Young talent, old talent, you name it, you see it here.
Well, this Ebo Elder kid can fight. There's no question about that. He's going to be matched tougher and tougher as he moves up the boxing ladder. Only 22 years old. This is only his 8th professional fight for the Extreme Machine.
Pushing Rosales away there. Kenny Chevalier warning Elder for the push. Rightfully so.
Well, Rosales is winging shots. Most of them are not landing. Telegraphs a lot of them. Then he bull rushes Elder, but really aggression, but not effective aggression.
Round 2, another big one for Ebo Elder, sending Rosales down for the third time in this fight. More Ballroom Boxing coming up. Brought to you by Toyota. Welcome back. More action in round 2. Another knockdown for Ebo Elder. There you saw Rosales was really out of control with his body, losing his balance. Elder took advantage.
Yeah, hit him with the left hand, but horribly off balance, trying to throw that lead right hand. Really looking very desperate already in the second round as we go to the third.
Rosales taking a lot of punishment. Good right hand by Rosales. Scores. Getting Ebo Elder's attention. Rosales trying to rough him up.
Well, you know what? That's as tough as Elder is on the inside, as vicious a puncher he is. That's the only shot Rosales has to win the fight. He's got to try and rough him up, take his chances when he can.
Quickly, let's check in with Jon Scheinman in the scorecard. John.
2 knockdowns, 2 10-8 rounds. I've got Elder ahead 20-18. It's clearly the case so far of a well-schooled fighter with a lot of amateur fights under his belt against a kid in Rosales who just has too bit of a wide of a style. He loops his punches too much. He's too wide open whenever he comes in, and Elder so far is picking him apart.
Jon Scheinman speaking the truth here tonight. Well, actually, he speaks the truth every night, but specifically in reference to Ebo Elder so far in this battle.
Clearly see the skill differential between the two fighters. Elder much more naturally talented. Got hit with a left hand there, Elder did.
He got hurt. Elder got hurt, fights back. Rosales shaking Elder.
But that's what you like to see. Elder fought right back and nailed him with a 2-punch combination.
Another combination by Elder. Has regathered himself after that assault from Rosales.
Rosales, one tough guy, just keeps moving forward. I mean, think of the shots we've seen him hit here with Larry.
He's been hammered.
Yeah, just keeps moving forward, trying to press the action.
Overhand left by Rosales. Another left by Rosales. Counter left by Elder. See some swelling around the left eye of Rosales as he eats another left hand from Elder. John, is Elder's punching power beginning to wane here as the fight goes on?
I don't think so. He's just not setting down the way he was, so he's unable to deliver the power quite the way he was.
Elder clubbing right hand, really doing no damage.
Let him out, let him out, let him out, let him out.
Kenny Chevalier stepping in.
Rosales is the kind of fighter, he refuses to get stopped. And some guys you're not going to knock out, no matter how hard you hit him or how often you hit him. Rosales appears to be that kind of a fighter, at least here tonight.
Well, Elder's hitting him hard and he's hitting him often.
Hey, watch the head.
A lot of blood from the nose of Rosales. Ripping body shot by Ebo Elder has Rosales fighting back and taking more punishment here in the ballroom.
Let him out easy.
We've reached the midway point in this fight. Round 3, the action unfolded. Rosales off balance, but tagging Elder. Some good give and take in round 3. And Jon Saraceno, is Elder tiring?
A little bit, but he's 22 years old. He looks like he's in great shape. You got to catch that second wind. I don't really see him tiring significantly at this point, and I don't think he will.
Overhand left off the ear of Rosales, just a glancing blow.
But he has thrown a lot of punches. I mean, no question about that.
He put Rosales down in the first and second rounds.
And they've been hitting heads a little bit here, too. Look at a combination punching by Elder.
Elder backing away, moving to the center of the ring. Clubbing away with the right hand on Rosales. Elder backing away. Trying to set up that left hand. Another headbutt inside by Rosales. Rosales' face becoming a mask of pain.
That's being nice.
Nice short right hand by Elder. Stopping Rosales in his tracks, but Rosales just keeps coming forward.
Well, they stopped the blood flow from Rosales.
Good body shot by Elder. And Rosales can really take some punishment. Another nice combination of left-right by Ebo Elder. No response from Rosales. And as we talked about, maybe Ebo Elder wearing down a little bit as this fight wears on. Rosales certainly is wearing down. Good body shot. It's a slip, but Elder took advantage. John, where can I get his pair of shoes like that? Another ripping body shot by Elder.
You can't find him at my house.
Straight left hand right down the middle. Elder has Rosales in a lot of trouble. Kenny Chevalier taking a long look at this one. Elder looking to finish off Rosales in the corner. Another left hand and another and a right. And Kenny Chevalier has stopped the fight. Ebo Elder runs his record to 8-0. His 5th win by knockout. A very impressive performance by the man from Newman, Georgia.
Not only that, a very impressive finish. When he saw that he could stop him, he went in, but he just didn't wing punches wildly to the head. He hit him with about 2 or 3 body shots, then went upstairs. Too much heat, fight's over. Good stoppage by Kenny Chevalier.
And you were right. Elder had Rosales in trouble, didn't let him get out of the corner. And Rosales was probably fit to continue, but he was not showing anything to the referee.
Well, those straight left hands. Look at that one, right on the button. Snapped his head through the ropes, taking too much abuse. Good move to stop it.
Good. Pat O'Malley will give us the vital stats on how this one ended.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner by TKO at 2:20 of round 4, Ebo the Extreme Machine Elder.
Ebo Elder tastes the sweet taste of victory for the 8th time as a professional with no losses. Ebo Elder, an impressive performance tonight. He's standing by with the equally impressive Jon Scheinman.
Ebo, what I really want to ask you about is the clothes you're wearing here, because it's quite a style. But what I'll start out by asking you is, was the strategy of this fight to pace yourself? Because you looked remarkably relaxed in the ring and taking your time setting up your shots.
Well, that's basically going to be the strategy for the rest of my career, is to be relaxed, do what I do every day, just a little more focused. Stay focused the entire fight, and if a guy beats me, he was awfully good. And about the clothes, thank you, Maggie. You're awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you.
These are hand done, huh?
Yes, in one day, everything was made.
Luis Rosales, a very awkward fighter. We've seen him a lot here on the Ballroom series. Did he give you any problems at all?
Well, obviously, he's a very tough guy. Anybody that resilient and that strong, he's a strong guy. He's a rough fighter. He's dangerous. And anybody that resilient is going to pose a force to be reckoned with.
You fought you're 8-0 now. You fought in 6 different towns. Why are you always on the road?
Well, because I'd like to get out and fight everywhere in the country and everywhere out of the country. I want people to see what I'm doing. I got a great support team, a lot of great fans, my family, Jesus Christ. It's all a big team. And everybody that wants on, come on, because we love you.
Ebo Elder building the bandwagon for tomorrow. He's 8-0 now. Let's go back to ringside.
Jon Saraceno, were you impressed?
Very impressed. I hope we get to see him back here again real soon.
I hope so. We'll be back with more from the Ballroom after a timeout. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno in the ring, getting ready to go toward Del Matchett. Del Matchett climbing up the ladder. He's got a tough opponent tonight. Let's get the official intros from Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Budweiser, the king of beers, Toyota, and Geico Direct join the Maryland State Athletic Commission and Ballroom Boxing promoter Scott Wagner, matchmaker Josh Hall, to proudly present this co-main event. Judging the bout, Gary Campaneschi, Kenny Chevalier, and Don Risher. And when this 10-round bout commences, the man in charge will be Malik Waleed. First, to my left, out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed in white, weighing 140.5 pounds. He is from Austin, Texas, with a record of 10-1, 7 via the KO. Please welcome to Michael's 8th Avenue, Manuel Rodriguez. Fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks with silver, weighing 140.75 pounds. He is from Laurel, Maryland. He has a record 14-1-1, 8 via the KO. He is ranked number 11 by the NABF, number 12 by the USBA and NABA, and number 30 by the World Boxing Council. Please welcome Del Matchett.
Del Matchett, the Hatchet, looking for his 10th straight win against what might be his toughest opponent to date. Jon Saraceno, take a look at the matchup.
Well, look at the numbers. Pretty even on a height and weight, but a significant reach advantage for the Hatchet.
Okay,
see how that
listen
comes
up.
into play. There should be a very interesting matchup.
As we heard Pat O'Malley mention, the Hatchet rated by the WBC, USBA, and NABF. So Del Matchett is climbing up the ladder, and tonight he risks it all in the ballroom. Big step up for Del Matchett tonight. Del, no stranger to the ballroom. 3 of his last 5 fights have been right here at Michael's 8th Avenue.
Let's go. And 3 of Manuel Rodriguez's last 4 fights have ended in knockout. This guy comes in regarded as a very good puncher.
From Austin, Texas. Del Matchett, one of the slickest guys out there. Always in great condition. 23 years old, from Laurel, Maryland. You should mention the commission here in Maryland does not recognize one of Del's victories. For some odd reason, Matchett lists himself as 15-1-1. Here he is listed as 14-1-1, which is an ongoing dispute between Matchett's managerial crew and the commissions. Matchett moving well, which is what he has to do here against the very hard puncher, Manuel Rodriguez. Just by the looks of this right now, John, the way this is unfolding early, Rodriguez is going to come forward and Matchett will use his boxing ability.
Matchett, a very rangy boxer. Good size for a junior welterweight.
Out of Del's 15 wins, he has 8 by way of knockout. Fighting out of Keystone Boxing.
You know, Rodriguez is not going to win the fight from out there where he is. He's feeling Matchett out.
Matchett has his hands held low. Malik Waleed is the referee in this battle. Fight is scheduled for 10 rounds. And Del Matchett is right about ready to graduate, if you will, to some tougher competition. 10-round battles, try to work his way up the ladder, John.
Well, he's going to have to get by guys like Rodriguez to do that. So far, the fights he's had, he's won pretty handily.
I think the reputation of Rodriguez coming in here as a big puncher has Matchett moving in the first round, trying to feel the power of Rodriguez if he can.
Well, Rodriguez has been content to throw mostly jabs. He threw a right hand there and missed.
Matchett diving in with the right hand. Del Matchett in the silver and black, and here in the Baltimore area, that is not the favorite colors of the Raven fans, as they vanquish the Oakland Raiders in the AFC Championship game. Rodriguez continues to move forward. Good work by Matchett coming in to score with a combination.
Rodriguez is moving forward, but he's not doing anything.
Watch your heads, watch your heads.
See the quick movements by Matchett. Spun off the ropes there. Maybe he's measuring him for that second round.
So the speed of Del Matchett in round 1. We'll be back. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing, brought to you by Toyota. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno ringside. Del Matchett in the ring right now. The ranked Del Matchett with Manuel Rodriguez. We're joined at ringside by one of the fine young boxers in the nation. Jimmy Lange, junior middleweight, has won 10 straight, and he is climbing up the ladder as well. And Jimmy, before we talk about you, what is Del Matchett doing right in the ring right now?
I think he's doing a lot of things right. He's moving. This guy's a big puncher. He's got to move, go side to side. One thing I don't like, his hands are a little low, but other than that, he's using his jab. You know, just more of the same. I think wear this guy down. I think he could probably wear him down and take him out there in the later rounds.
Jimmy, now this guy comes in, Rodriguez comes in with the reputation as being a big puncher. He's won 3 of his last 4 by way of knockout. You think Matchett may be giving him too much respect, or is that a smart strategy?
No, it's always smart. You can't knock out what you can't hit. And at this level, with the little gloves and everything, you know, you get hit on the chin, you can go. So it's always better safe than sorry. But
Let's go.
like I said, Matchett's lunging a little bit, and I haven't seen him do that before. So I don't know what's going on there, but he looks to be doing good. He won the first round pretty decisively, and I think he's on his way.
We're going to ask Jimmy to stick around for a couple rounds here in the ballroom. Check us out on the web, Ballroom Boxing, www.ballroomboxing.com. 34th edition of Ballroom Boxing. And you know what? They're describing it with Roman numerals now, Jon Saraceno. That really shows that we have arrived.
Yeah, I like that. Nice touch.
You don't, if you use Roman numerals, that means you're big time.
If the show gets too much more big time, we won't be on anymore.
Rodriguez has hurt Del Matchett.
And his hands are still down. I don't understand.
No question about it, Jimmy. You saw that. He did get hurt.
Absolutely. Looks sluggish.
Matchett slowing down now.
One thing about Matchett is he is a great athlete in tip-top shape. So we'll see. I think he'll come out of this, but he is still a little wobbly.
Overhand right by Matchett.
He's got to pick that right hand up because he keeps getting caught.
It's a step up in class for Matchett for sure, as Rodriguez did wobble him with that right hand. And Jimmy, I think the same thing is in order for you, a step up in class. You've got the big winning streak now. You kind of long for the days that you have these rankings that Del Matchett has.
Absolutely, and we're taking a step up. We're fighting Tony Suggs on February 7th at the Lincoln Theater, and you know, just keep winning. All I can do is keep winning inside the ring. I let everybody else figure out what to do outside the ring.
Del Matchett in the ring right now, trying to figure out what to do with Manuel Rodriguez. Good round for Rodriguez.
It's a good fight.
Wobbling Del Matchett. Back with more for the ballroom in a moment. Welcome back to the ballroom. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno, along with the fresh, exciting Jimmy Lange, junior middleweight. Remember the name Jimmy Lange. You're going to hear a lot about him in the ring right now. The ranked Del Matchett having a hard time with the man from Austin, Texas, Manuel Rodriguez. And let's go to Jon Scheinman quickly for the scorecard after 2 rounds. John.
Well, be the contrarian that I am, I think Del Matchett won the first 2 rounds. I got him ahead 20-18. Yes, Manuel Rodriguez hurt him with that right hand, but that's pretty much the only shot he landed. I thought Matchett came back and did some nice work, left hooks to the body. Yeah, I agree with all of you that it looks a little sluggish, not at this point, but I thought he did enough to win both rounds.
Big left hand and a right by Rodriguez, catching Del Matchett in close.
Well, notice how Matchett is going to the body, too. He's taking some chances there.
Rodriguez only defeated an 8-round loss to the unbeaten welterweight Armando Velardes. Velardes TKO'd National Golden Glove champs Canito Drake, who Matchett had a draw with. So there is some common history here between Rodriguez and Matchett. Jimmy Matchett has tasted the power of Rodriguez, but he sticks right in there. I guess the one thing he knows he has is a reserve of energy. You talked about his conditioning.
Yeah, I think it's a little too early to stand there and punch with this guy. I think that in the first round, he was jabbing him and really beating him up almost. You know, he's moving him around, and I think that you do that 5-6 rounds with a guy like this, not the second round.
Well, Matchett's got one bad habit. It's dropping a left hand. He's getting hit with punches. Really, Jimmy, I don't think he should be getting hit with.
Absolutely not. I agree.
And you got to give it to Rodriguez coming to the backyard of Del Matchett with a 10-1 record. He's got 7 knockouts. And when we walked in the building today, we did a little research on Manuel Rodriguez. Just about everybody we talked to says this kid's a pretty good puncher.
Yeah, he looks to be.
Yeah.
He looks to be.
Leaping in with the left hand, Manuel Rodriguez.
He's getting hit, though. He's getting hit with some stuff with Del's, and Del can punch, too.
Quick hands of Del Matchett, making Rodriguez pay.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do right there. 2, 3, 4 punches at a time, not one.
Rodriguez.
He keeps getting caught with that left hook. He's got to do something about that.
Straight right hand and another right hand. Scored by Rodriguez.
Back and straight up.
Matchett responding with the flurry. Good body shots by Del Matchett going downstairs.
They're both actually breathing kind of heavy. Granted, this is a high-paced fight, but they are both starting to breathe.
Jimmy, how much? Well, we'll carry Jimmy over to the next round to talk about conditioning and tension. Del Matchett and Manuel Rodriguez in a great fight here in the ballroom. We'll be back. Del Matchett battling with Manuel Rodriguez. Round 4 underway. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. Jon Scheinman with us as well. Jon, the scorecard through 3.
Well, Manuel Rodriguez got on the board in that last round. I have him now trailing 29-28, but he stepped up his work rate, and when Matchett tried to counter, he went over the top often. He just swung over the top of Rodriguez's head. I think Rodriguez is starting to apply good pressure here, and he's back in the fight.
Also with us here at ringside is the exciting junior middleweight Jimmy Lange. And Jimmy, I was getting ready to ask you before this round, you have so much energy, so much pent up before the fight. Do you find yourself losing energy early than getting the second win in the middle of the fight? Is there a second win?
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, that all comes with experience. You know, every fight you learn more on how to conserve your energy, how to go rounds, how to take rounds off. You know, pick it up, and you just, I mean, the main thing is to have it. You know, and to be in condition. If you're in condition, and you'll be fine. But you can't go in there expecting to just get by on emotion or adrenaline, because it won't happen.
Del Matchett continuing to box nicely here. Rodriguez has had a couple power shots. And I unfortunately have to agree with Jon Scheinman's comments from a couple rounds ago, Jon Saraceno, that Rodriguez has had a couple punches here and there, but this is Del Matchett's fight. The tempo is Del Matchett's.
Well, when Matchett punches in combination and uses his lateral movement, makes it a lot more difficult to fight for Rodriguez. Rodriguez can't quite find the target, and that's where he's giving him trouble.
This is a typical boxer-puncher fight, really, and
Keep him up, keep him up, keep
the
him
boxer
up.
usually wins that if he
Let's go.
doesn't make mistakes and if he stays on his game. The big thing I don't like is the hands down and the single jab. 2-3 jabs knocks this guy off balance all night long.
Very good point.
Del Matchett continuing with the combinations. Rodriguez continues to pursue. Uppercut inside. Good body shot by Del
He's got to
Matchett.
stop backing up with his hands down.
Right hand counter. Nice by Rodriguez. Taking advantage of what you're talking about, Jimmy Lange.
No.
This guy Rodriguez could take a little punch too, because Matchett has hit him.
Big left hand there. Rocks Rodriguez back just as you said it, Jimmy. I think he's hurt Rodriguez a little bit there. At least stunned him.
He's okay. He's got his legs, but
Rodriguez starting to get hit a lot more, particularly in this round. And I think he's frustrated a little bit by Matchett's lateral movement. You know, punchers, they want the guy to be right in front of them. They don't want to be chasing the guy the whole round. And Rodriguez is covering up a lot. He can't get off on offense the way he's accustomed to.
the only time Matchett gets hit is when he backs straight up. He
Big
just got hit hard
combination
there.
by Rodriguez. Jimmy Lange, you're not only a good fighter, you're also a good commentator and a prophet as well. Exciting junior middleweight Jimmy Lange with us at ringside. We'll be back with more Ballroom Boxing after a timeout. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Welcome back to the Ballroom. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno, Del Matchett, and Manuel Rodriguez in a fierce battle right now in the ring. Ballroom Boxing brought to you by Geico Direct. Good combination by Rodriguez. This is a classic boxer-puncher battle.
Very good matchmaking in this fight. Get Rodriguez to come up from Texas.
Good lead right by Rodriguez, scoring to the chin of Del Matchett. Rodriguez having some strong moments here at the beginning of the 5th round. Let's check in quickly with Jon Scheinman with a look at his scorecard. Jon.
Through 4 rounds, this fight's all even on my unofficial card, 38-38. I got Rodriguez winning the last 2. He looks like he's on his way to winning this one as well. I'll tell you something, Del Matchett is, well, he's in huge trouble here, but Manuel Rodriguez comes in and he doesn't even jab. He just walks right through Matchett, and that's not something a Matchett should be allowing. He needs to be jabbing back and sliding to the side. Just lateral movement's not going to be enough against this kid.
Punching of Rodriguez and the lack of power from Del Matchett has really given Rodriguez some confidence here. He's bullying Del Matchett around the ring right now.
Well, he's turned the fight around in this round, especially with those bullying tactics. Matchett looks like he's a bit fatigued.
The mouth of dead.
Yeah,
no question.
Yeah, his mouth's wide open.
It's scary. Me and you think alike.
That is scary. He's not punching at all, Larry. He's not even fighting back.
Matchett trying to wail back here now.
Almost looks like he's
big
hurt.
right hand by Rodriguez rocks the skull of Del Matchett.
Matchett almost looks like he's hurt, and he's trying to protect himself more than anything.
Body shot by Rodriguez. It's been a huge round for Rodriguez here.
I mean, can he really stay on the inside with Rodriguez and win that kind of a fight the way Rodriguez punches?
Matchett trying to turn the tide with the right hand. Rodriguez maybe has punched himself out. Matchett trying to turn it around here.
I'm starting to wonder if Matchett has his legs. Did a lot of moving those first 4 rounds.
Toe-to-toe right now, Matchett and Rodriguez. Rodriguez showing some signs of fatigue. There goes the mouthpiece of Del Matchett. Taking some serious punishment right now from Rodriguez. Matchett trying to fire away. What a great fight in the ballroom.
Matchett right now looks like he's fighting more on guts than anything. Totally abandoned his style he had in the first 4 rounds. He's standing toe-to-toe with Rodriguez.
Hand-to-hand combat in the ballroom tonight. We'll be back. Action from round 5 as Manuel Rodriguez turned the tide on Del Matchett, really laying a beating to Del Matchett in that round.
Well, he may have turned this fight totally around in that round. We saw signs of it coming, but that was Rodriguez's best round of the fight by far. Matchett just did not look himself in that round. Looked weary.
This combination by Matchett to start off the 6th. This fight is scheduled for 10 rounds. Del Matchett, ranked by the WBC, by the USBA, and by the NABF.
Matchett keeps his legs awfully spread apart. I wonder about his balance a little bit.
Big right hand again by Rodriguez, and the hands of Matchett are held low, especially the left, just eating the right hand of Rodriguez.
You notice when Del gets hit, he kind of stumbles because his legs are spread too far.
Matchett fighting on guts, trying to battle back. Good overhand right by Matchett. Not a lot of power behind those punches, though. He's just kind of winging them.
Exactly.
Jab by Rodriguez. Good shot by Del Matchett as Rodriguez stepping away. Right hand of Rodriguez is the power shot. Del Matchett's left hand is held at his waist.
Well, Rodriguez has used that left hook very well, too. Now this is looking like the first round again.
It's a very difficult fight to score. Let's see what Jon Scheinman has to say. What do you think, buddy?
I think Manuel Rodriguez has won 3 in a row, and he's up 48-47 on my card. You know, this fight's reminding me of one I saw with Del Matchett about a year and a half back with a fighter named Quentin Williams down in Washington, D.C. He abandoned his lateral movement, you know, early on in the fight, and he just went toe-to-toe with this guy the whole way. He's got the capability of doing it for 10 rounds, and sometimes I wonder if it's Del Matchett's true nature to fight like this, and he prefers to be a slugger, and that's what he's trying to act like right now. I don't know if it's a good idea against a guy with Rodriguez's punching power.
Nice right hand by Del Matchett.
And fighters can get lured into that kind of a macho fight. I don't think that's Del Matchett's best kind of a style against a guy like Rodriguez who likes to bull forward.
It's a good turnaround round for Del Matchett. What do you think?
Well, he's fighting the way he did early in the fight, which was, you know, you got to show this guy some movement. You can't let him tee off and time it. But by the same token, you also have to punch. You just can't be running around the ring.
Some blood from the mouth of Manuel Rodriguez from Austin, Texas.
So, you know, Matchett threw a 4-5 punch combination there. Really hasn't jabbed very much tonight, and that's been his detriment. He jabs one jab at a time. He brings back the low. Oh, he got nailed, Larry, with 2 right hands.
Matchett stunned by the combination from Rodriguez. Rodriguez has the punching power. It's the puncher-boxer confrontation. And more to come. Big power shot with the right hand by Rodriguez. We'll be back. Action from the previous round as Manuel Rodriguez tattooing the head of Del Matchett as the round came to a close. See if Del Matchett, Jon Saraceno wobbled to his corner at the end of that round. If that round had been 30 seconds longer, he might have gone down.
Exactly. Very unsteady walking to his corner. Wobbling to his corner, that is. 2 rounds ago, looked severely fatigued, and I think Jon Scheinman's right. He tried to gut it out and slug it with Rodriguez, because maybe that's his true nature as a fighter. It was not the smart strategy in this fight. You could just see Del wearing down in this fight. He's getting hit with left hooks and right hands almost at will now. Not looking good for Del Matchett.
Uppercut by Rodriguez misses. Matchett in trouble against the ropes. Another big hand by Rodriguez. Power from the shots of Matchett has been drained. Body shot by Matchett. Rodriguez right in front of him.
I just don't see how Del thinks he's going to get the better of this on the inside.
Clubbing punches by Rodriguez inside.
Watch Rodriguez come with that left hook now.
Matchett up against the ropes. His legs have deserted him right now. He's looking for his second win. Rodriguez keeping the heat on. Matchett needs to get off the ropes, needs to move away.
I'm not so sure he's got the legs tonight, Larry, to do that.
Good performance by Manuel Rodriguez coming to the backyard of Del Matchett. Has Matchett up against the ropes.
You know, not many managers would take a 10-1 fighter out of town from Texas to Maryland. You never know what's going to happen when you go out of town like that.
Rodriguez expending a lot of energy. Matchett battling back.
Well, this has been a terrific fight. Both these guys just on top of their game in terms of the number of punches being thrown.
Matchett beginning to turn the tide here in this round.
I wish we had a punch counter here.
Matchett with a right hand. Back and forth, the momentum swings. Rodriguez up against the ropes. Matchett putting him in some trouble. Rodriguez is in trouble. Big right hand by Matchett. What a turnaround by Del Matchett here.
Wow, what a gutty performance by Matchett.
Nothing else. He's got huge stones right now. Big right hand by Matchett. And a body shot by Matchett. Rodriguez battles back. What a fight in the ballroom.
2 big right hands there by Rodriguez near the end of the round. Sensational action.
Action from the 7th round. Del Matchett turning the tide. This fight has had several reverses of momentum. Who knows what the scorecards at ringside say? We'll find out what Jon Scheinman says right now. John?
Manuel Rodriguez up 67-65 on my card in the 6th round. I thought he almost had Matchett out. I gave him a 10-8, but Matchett came back that round, and I gave it to him 10-9. This fight's really tight, Larry.
Thanks, John. The last round was Del Matchett's. Looked like Rodriguez had worn down, and Matchett had found his second win. Let's see if Rodriguez finds it here in the 8th.
This is a very even fight.
And once again in the backyard of Del Matchett here tonight in the Ballroom in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Matchett has Rodriguez up against the ropes.
Now what is Rodriguez doing up against the ropes?
I think his legs are giving out a little bit. Trying to buy some time, maybe.
I don't know. Almost looks like he's trying to play possum there, but
good shots by Del Matchett. Rodriguez not battling back. Counter shot by Rodriguez sends Matchett scurrying across the ring. Rodriguez's right hand job becoming a slapping punch right now. Big right hand by Del Matchett.
Well, there's some fatigue, obviously, on Rodriguez's part. The number of punches he's thrown tonight. And he's really stopped using the left hook. He had a lot of success with that early in the fight. He's abandoned it.
Straight right hand by Matchett. Another right hand by Matchett.
And Rodriguez sees that low left by Matchett and went right hand crazy there.
Matchett needs to get out of that corner, does the right thing. Rodriguez's legs are wobbly, John. His legs are beginning to give way.
Yeah, he's not all there.
Nice combination by Del Matchett.
Meanwhile, it looks like Matchett at the end of the last round, the middle of the last round, got some of his wind back.
What a great fight here in the ballroom tonight. Del Matchett and Manuel Rodriguez. Clubbing right hand by Matchett.
And this is one of the great things about boxing. You see the ebb and flow of a fight like this. One fighter take control, then the other come back, impose his will. The changing of strategies by fighters. Good body shot by Matchett.
Great body shot with the right hand. Has Rodriguez backing up.
Rodriguez making a very bad mistake there, backing up with his hands down, and Matchett taking advantage of it.
You know, we heard Jimmy Lange say earlier, John, that Del Matchett is in peak condition, and it's really paying off right now.
Yep. Well, his mouthpiece is ready to go. He's putting it in as he's running around the ring. I never saw a
ever
fighter
seen
do
that before, and he pays the price as Rodriguez takes advantage. Matchett is hurt up against the ropes.
He should have just spit the thing out.
Shouldn't have worried about it. End of another great round here in the ballroom. Del Matchett and Manuel Rodriguez has the fans on their feet. We'll be back. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. There you saw the mouthpiece flying out of the mouth of Del Matchett. He had the...
But I never saw a guy chase around his own mouthpiece halfway around the ring and then
yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Mike Tyson against Buster Douglas. You saw him doing that.
Not like that.
Not like that, no. He was on the canvas.
Reaching for it, right?
Trying to find his mouth. He found the mouthpiece. He was having a hard time finding his mouth.
Careful, Mike's one of your semi-neighbors.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Body shot by Rodriguez, and it's a low blow. Malik Waleed, really for the first time having to do something in a very clean fight. Good body shot by Matchett.
You know what? Rodriguez is really wore down. He threw so many punches early in the fight that you could see a noticeable difference.
Del Matchett, if he comes back and wins this fight, that will really be impressive. Let's check in quickly with Jon Scheinman. Has the score on your card gotten tighter, Jon Scheinman?
Oh, yes. Rodriguez is still up 76-75, but Matchett has taken the last 2 rounds. Some quick stats. Rodriguez has never gone past 8 rounds. This is the 9th, and he's never stopped a fighter past the 5th round. So he's in some uncharted water here against Matchett.
Last time for Del Matchett going 10 rounds was September 21st of the year 2000 here at Michael's 8th Avenue, a 10-round decision over Jamar Carter. We did that fight. Del Matchett is built for the long haul.
A lot of times condition will get a fighter through. Wow, what a shot by Rodriguez.
Del Matchett needs to get out of the corner, and Rodriguez stumbles, really letting Matchett off the hook.
He was throwing so many punches, he punched himself into the canvas.
The right eye of Del Matchett is swollen shut.
Oh, Rodriguez continuing to pound away with that right hand.
What a great fight tonight here in the ballroom. Matchett moving away now. Overhand right by Matchett and a right hand by Rodriguez.
We've seen a lot of great fights here at the Ballroom Boxing Series, but I'd say this would have to rank in the upper...
Top 5?
Top 10.
Top 10, okay. Yeah. Rodriguez pounding away. He's gotten his second win right now, hammering away at the head of Del Matchett. Matchett looking fatigued now in the 9th round. It might come down to the 10th and final round. Matchett trying to fire back. Rodriguez is tired. Matchett is tired. Overhand right by Del Matchett. Rodriguez with a weak overhand right that scores. Matchett looking in bad shape as round 9 comes to a close.
Rodriguez just continually pressing the action. It's incredible.
Matchett up against the ropes. The 9th round is in the books. 3 minutes to go. Who will take this brutal battle in the ballroom? 10th and final round. It's been a brutal battle in the ballroom, a war between Manuel Rodriguez and Del Matchett. Whole lot of props between the fighters. Jon Scheinman, 3 minutes to go. Who's ahead going into the final round?
Brutal fight. Manuel Rodriguez up 86-84 on my card. Matchett needs a knockout to win.
Of course, that's unofficial. Jon Saraceno, you concur.
I've got Rodriguez ahead by 2. Matchett looks like he's going to need a knockout here.
Or a knockdown. Matchett with a body shot. There's been no indication that Matchett could put Rodriguez down. But again, good combination by Rodriguez. Matchett needs to stay off the ropes. This is where champions are made. I know right now both these guys would like to climb the ladder, but the winner of this fight knows that he can come back from adversity and go the distance and win a fight.
Now, this will be a major boost to the winner of this fight in their career path. And the loser, wow. Matchett doesn't pull something out of here, or the judges see it a different way.
I don't necessarily agree with you two guys. I think Matchett could be even in this fight. I think it come back down to right now, this round, this 10th and final round. Who wins this fight is the winner of this final round.
Well, right now, Matchett's not getting the best of it. Rodriguez continuing to tee off with the right hand.
Power of Rodriguez has been a big difference in this fight. The boxing of Matchett has given him moments.
And Matchett is wearing down. We saw him sitting on his stool between rounds, really wincing. An obvious fatigue.
His right eye swollen. It's been a great battle between these two warriors.
That eye is almost totally shut. The right eye of Matchett. Gutty performance, whether he wins or loses.
By both guys.
No question.
Rodriguez was being boxed apart in the early going. He's battled back with the power. And so far, midway through the final round, this round is Rodriguez.
Well, this much I know. I know Matchett's management did not see any tapes of Rodriguez before this fight. They took a guy who's a very good puncher with a 10-1 record.
Big right hand in and left by Rodriguez has Matchett in a lot of trouble. The referee, Malik Walid, looking in. Matchett against the ropes. He needs to move away. Another big right hand by Rodriguez. Matchett about to go. Malik Walid steps in. And this fight is over.
I know Malik Walid wanted to give Matchett every chance in the world to try to win this fight, and he did. He almost waited too long. What a sensational bout. There's Matchett. Fight stopped in the 10th and final round. As you see, Malik Walid consoling the loser. Matchett now 14-2-1.
Let's see how this fight ended. Matchett, the 10th and final round. We talked about the winner of that round might be the winner of this fight.
Well, Matchett, Larry, really could hold up his gloves no more to defend himself. That's pure fatigue at that point. That's why he's getting hit cleanly, shot after shot, those wicked right hands. Again, the left hook snapping his head. Right.
Combinations have Matchett up against the ropes. Good stoppage by the referee, Malik Walid. Junior welterweights Matchett and Manuel Rodriguez. They went to the 10th round. Rodriguez gets it done in the end. He had never been past 8 rounds. And so far, Rodriguez, a defining moment in his career, he knocks out Matchett in the 10th to Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner by knockout at 2:46 of the 10th and final round, Manuel Rodriguez.
Rodriguez impressively puts Matchett away in the 10th round. Matchett still on a stool. Let's take a look at how it ended.
Well, you just see the clean shots, missing with the uppercut there, some of them not landing. But the problem is Matchett is so fatigued he can't defend himself. When a fighter can't defend himself, particularly when he's taking the kind of punishment that Matchett took, it's time for the third man in the ring to take over. And you just see the combination punching, the rights, the lefts, non-stop punching by Manuel Rodriguez. And you see his head snap back there. There's Malik Walid smartly stopping the fight and saving Matchett from further abuse.
Manuel Rodriguez gets the job done in the 10th and final round. Tremendous fight in the ballroom tonight. Stay tuned for more exciting boxing action.
And the winner by unanimous decision, Derrick Double Impact Whitley.
I'm hungry. I want it. I know I fought him before, even though it was a short, 1 round. But I know he's gonna come out with a different game plan. But I'm still gonna go with my game plan. Take my time, set my shots up, and just hope for the best.
Whitley and Hughes, 3 minutes to go. Whitley closing the 7th fast. And Hughes goes down.
Looks like a
very big knockdown at the end of round 7.
Please welcome Dana Rucker.
I'm more focused now. My skills has improved. My neck is stronger. I'm punching harder. So I'm really looking for an excellent outcome. Excellent outcome.
Totally short-circuited Rucker again. 3 times Rucker has been absolutely scrambled by the right hand of Bello. Big left hand by Rucker, and down goes Bello. Oh my goodness, what a turnaround. Bello's in bad shape right now. Wobbling up. He's okay though.
Wow.
Another left by Rucker, and another. Malik Waleed taking a long look. Another left hand by Rucker, and another one.
What guts by Bello. Look at him fighting back off the ropes.
Bello's gonna go down. Another right hand. This fight is over.
You have a situation, John, where the guy might fight tall, and it might be advisable to try to come down a little bit. Other times, it's to your advantage to stay tall.
Well, I think when you have let's face it, a suspect chin like Dana Rucker has, he doesn't always take a good shot that's right on the button. You got to keep yourself low. You got to keep yourself bobbing and moving. You can't have your chin exposed.
Tremendous shot on the part of Whitley, and Rucker goes down. And Dana Rucker was not able to regain his feet. A first-round knockout registered on the part of Derrick Whitley.
Yes, it is time for the rematch. And there's a lot of history between these 2 fighters, Jon Saraceno, and something special is about to happen in the ring.
Well, one thing that Rucker doesn't want is a repeat of history. He should have, he should have learned something from that first fight, and that's not to play Whitley cheap. He's got to use a little more of his boxing skills, pick his shots a little bit later in the fight.
Dana Rucker, after that knockout, has turned his career around. He stuck with it. A lot of people said he's got a weak chin. He should give it up. He hasn't. He's a workout-aholic, and he wants redemption tonight.
Well, one thing they've worked on specifically, Larry, is to get him to do more neck exercises with the hope that it's going to strengthen his chin. You know what? It's going to have to strengthen up here, too, because that's the big doubt when you've had a devastating knockout like that, is the self-doubt, the psychological demons that still probably haunt him. Let's see if he's going to get past them tonight.
If Dana Rucker can do it, his career remains alive. If he can't, you never know. Whitley and Rucker 2 is next. To Pat O'Malley with the official introductions.
Budweiser, the king of beers, Toyota and Geico Direct, join the Maryland State Athletic Commission and Ballroom Boxing promoter Scott Wagner, matchmaker Josh Hall, to proudly present the co-main event, which is for the Maryland Super Middleweight Championship. Judging the bout, Kenny Chevalier, Don Risher, and Malik Waleed. And when this 10-round bout for the Maryland State Super Middleweight Championship and a rematch commences, the referee in charge is Bill Holmes. Now the boxers. First, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black and white trunks, weighing 166.5 pounds, from Holyoke, Massachusetts, with a record of 13-14, 6 via the KO. Please welcome Derrick Double Impact Whitley. Out of the blue corner, wearing the red trunks, weighing 167 pounds, from Baltimore, Maryland, and the gym of the legendary Mac Lewis, with a record of 11-2, 9 via the KO. Please welcome Dana Rucker.
Well, this is the rematch, Rucker and Whitley. Let's take a look at the matchup, Jon Saraceno.
Well, the obvious height disadvantage. Dana Rucker, legitimate 6 feet. Whitley only 5'8". So you know Rucker's going to have that reach advantage. Got to use that jab, his good boxing skills. A little bit of a youth advantage, too, for Dana. This is maybe the pivotal fight in his career.
Dana Rucker 11-2 with 9 knockouts. Derrick Whitley 13-14 with 6 KOs. Whitley started his career 7-14. He started the year 2000 7-14, and his victory over Rucker propelled him to 6 straight wins. He is now 13-14, and a chance to level his record against the man he knocked out in the first round. Plenty of drama in the ballroom tonight as Rucker and Whitley do it again.
Now, if you're Rucker, do you come out a little bit cautious? Probably not. You got to establish something right from the opening bell. And by the same perspective, if you're Whitley, do you come out and try to do what you did last time? Probably not, because that could lead to perhaps you getting knocked out, doing something careless.
It's been a great night of boxing here in the ballroom. Next up, March 22nd, our next card here in the ballroom. Give us a call, 1-888-950-2188, 1-888-950-2188, or check us out on the web, www.ballroomboxing.com.
Have you noticed tonight, standing room only crowd here? I don't think we've ever had a bigger crowd. I'm not sure about that officially, but wow, this place is packed.
Whitley from the southpaw stance. And you just wonder what's going on in the mind of Dana Rucker. This fight is scheduled for 10 rounds.
Well, Rucker really showing no effects from their last matchup. I mean, fairly aggressive here in the first round.
Rucker with that straight up style. Rucker with 9 knockouts. He has power in his punches.
The fact that Whitley's left-handed further complicates things for Rucker. Everything is coming from the opposite direction.
Rucker with some fire in his punches here in the first round. Good right hand by Dana Rucker.
Yes, shot the lead right hand against the southpaw.
Last fight for Dana Rucker came on August the 26th of the year 2000, a 3rd round TKO of Mo Adams.
And you can really see a sense of purpose in the look on Dana Rucker here in this first round. He's really on his P's and Q's, particularly defensively.
Dana Rucker has only had 2 fights since his first round knockout at the hands of Derrick Whitley. He's fought Derrick Whitley's brother in his first fight after that knockout and won a 6th round decision.
This is the guy he wants. This is the Whitley he wants. A pawing jab by Whitley. Chess match here in the first round.
Well, we will not have a redo of the first fight. The first round ends uneventful. More ballroom boxing coming up. Round 2 underway here in the ballroom. This fight scheduled for 10 rounds. Dana Rucker goes to a knee there. It's 2 super middleweights, Dana Rucker and Derrick Whitley.
Dana Rucker, a very tall super middleweight.
Rucker's 2 losses have come by way of knockout. Julian Letterlow, Mr. KO, and Derrick Whitley, the man he faces tonight.
There have been questions all along about that chin. It's something they've tried to work on. But oftentimes you're born with a good chin.
Rucker continues to move forward. Whitley from Holyoke, Massachusetts. So I'm sure the fans watching on New England Sports Network tonight in the corner of Whitley. Also want to welcome those watching on Comcast and Empire Sports, as well as Home Team Sports and the Sunshine Network down south.
Incredible how many places this show is now being televised at nationally.
Punch out,
really
punch
is.
out. Let him go, let him go, don't hold him.
Also welcoming those in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, looking in on UPN. Rucker continues to move forward.
Well, Rucker's trying to use that left hand to set up the rest of his attack. And Whitley's been very respectful for the most part. First round and a half. Somehow Whitley's got to find a way to get inside.
Rucker doing a good job of boxing in this round.
And I hope Whitley isn't thinking, hey, I'm going to look for one shot and knock him out like I did the first time.
I think he's exercised those demons, John. I think it's not in his head anymore. I think he's in his zone right now, knowing that this is a 10-round fight. And what happened last time will not happen tonight.
Right. But from Whitley's perspective, is he coming in thinking, you know what, I'm going to look for one shot here. I know this guy's got a weak chin. I got him one time. You know, he's going to have to attack with a more systematic, in a more systematic fashion. But the problem is he's a shorter fighter with a shorter reach, so he's got to find a way to get inside. He's trying to jab his way and then throw the left hand.
Rucker is trying to time Whitley and steps on his foot. As sometimes the Southpaw conventional matchup shows you. Round 2 winding down here in the ballroom.
All right, we begin the third round. Derrick Whitley in the white and black trunks. Dana Rucker in the black and red shredded trunks.
You like those drawers, huh?
I don't know. It looks like somebody took a razor blade to him.
Jon Scheinman, you see this fight unfolding before you. The rematch, which we anticipated, did not go like the first one. And what's your scorecard say?
Not a lot happened in the first 2 rounds, Larry, but I had Dana Rucker ahead 2018, slim margins both rounds. But I was struck by, and Jon Saraceno pointed this out, he's so purposeful. I've never seen him this calculating in a fight, but it's almost to the point where he's not getting his shots off. He might even be over-focused and maybe a little tight here. I think Dana Rucker is concerned about the power of Whitley, that he's tasted it before. I do believe he's thinking about it, and this isn't his normal fight. He usually lets his hands go.
Well, it's only natural, right, Jon Saraceno?
A very good point. I think that's exactly what's happened in the first 2 rounds here. Rucker usually is much more freer with his fists, being a little more cautious here on his P's and Q's defensively. I've got him ahead 2019 after 2. But as long as he can keep Whitley on the outside with the left hand.
Using the jab nicely.
Yeah, Dana's really in no danger. And see, Whitley's there loading up with the left hand. I think he's going to have to do more in this fight. He's going to have to create more opportunities with some combination punching to try to slip the left hand in and knock Dana out.
Round 3 brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers. Dana Rucker continues with the jab. Dana Rucker boxing beautifully.
You know, it's not as if Derrick Whitley is this, well, I was going to say Roy Jones, knock him out super middleweight. Roy's no longer a super middleweight. But 27 fights for Whitley, he only has 6 knockouts. So
Let him go.
He's not a power puncher, but he got Dana Rucker with a power shot the first time they fought, and I think he got lulled into a sense here that he can just knock out Dana with one shot.
Rucker doing a job on Whitley here. I'm sure there would be no better gratification for Rucker than to knock out Whitley and pay him back.
And Whitley's fighting almost in such a confident manner, like, you know what? I know sooner or later I'm going to tag this guy and he's going to go. I'm going to just hit him with one of these shots and he's going to go. But in the meanwhile, Rucker could be putting rounds in the bank.
Another good boxing round for Dana Rucker here in the ballroom. We'll be back with more from Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Welcome back to the ballroom as Dana Rucker looking for redemption tonight against the man that knocked him out a year ago, Derrick Whitley. And Rucker doing a good job controlling the tempo of this fight.
And he started opening up there more towards the end of the 3rd round. I've got him ahead 30-28 after 3. Whitley's kind of playing into Dana's game plan here. And Whitley a little more aggressive here this round. Let's see if he starts putting his punches together a little bit better.
Now, as this fight moves on, do you think Rucker has a chance? Rucker wobbled by Whitley. I was just getting ready to say, could he get overconfident against Whitley?
No, I don't think he's going to be overconfident. I think he remembers what happened the first time. And now Dana Rucker's in a fight because Whitley's now taking his 4th round and actually coming out and fighting, which really he didn't do much of in the first 3 rounds.
Let him go, let him go.
Derrick Whitley looking to level his record at 14-14. He began his pro career.
As you mentioned, this fight is for the Maryland super middleweight title.
Whitley began his career 7-14 and looking to be the journeyman for his career, and he's really turned it around.
Well, and sometimes, you know, a lot of people would say, well, gee, the guy's got a losing record, 13-14. How can he be fighting for any kind of a title belt, whether it's a state championship or otherwise? But he's really kind of turned his career around, and he's been a very competitive fighter, if not, you know, a first-class upper echelon fighter.
Left hand by Whitley. It's a round right now where Dana Rucker is slowed down somewhat.
And I think Dana's trying to be careful here because he realizes Whitley came out more purposeful here, Larry, in his 4th round. And that's what he's got to do. He's got to double up and triple up with the jab. Good body punching on the inside by Dana. He's got his hands up, pick those shots off.
Another strong left hand by Whitley. Rucker firing back to the body.
Well, Whitley throwing a lot more combination punches this round. But you know what? The more punches he throws, the more active Dana Rucker's getting.
Clubbing left hand by Dana Rucker.
And don't forget, look at the size differential of the 2 men. I mean, you can't base everything on size, but Rucker, a much taller, rangier fighter.
Keep him up, keep him
Certain
up.
built-in advantages there, particularly if Whitley can't get on the inside. And he's having a hard time getting on the inside. Triple left hook by Whitley. Like little noogies there. What kind you give me?
I give them to you all the time, yes. And you fight back. Big right hand just whistles past the whiskers of Whitley. You know, Whitley has to believe, little blood from the nose of Dana Rucker. Whitley always has to believe he is in this fight because of the history, the 1st round knockout against Rucker.
And he is, and he knows it, and so does Dana.
Blood from the nose of Dana Rucker. More to come from the ballroom. Action from the 4th round as Dana Rucker and Derrick Whitley square off for the 2nd time.
Interesting how strong Whitley looks and how few knockouts he has, which should tell people something about the sport of boxing. It's a lot more art, yeah, and science to it.
Leverage. Dana Rucker with a left hand. Whitley has switched back and forth from the southpaw stance to the conventional stance, trying to cross up Dana Rucker. Rucker with the jab. If Rucker were smart, he'd keep that jab going the whole fight.
I was just about to say that.
It's scary how much you and I think alike.
That's one word for it.
How about frightful? Good left hand by Derrick Whitley.
Short left hook. He stepped on the inside through one of those 8-inch left hooks. Now, let's see if Rucker gets caught up in the macho here. Decides to swap.
Rucker keeping his chin tucked and his hands held high. Nice jab by Dana Rucker.
Boy, because he's punching down with it. You see the force of it and how Whitley gets smacked with it. It really stops Whitley in his tracks.
Blood from the nose of Dana Rucker, his right eye beginning to swell.
In theory, Rucker should be able to win this fight with one hand. I mean, it's a little more difficult than that, but
Rucker beginning to slow down a little bit, and Whitley beginning to find him.
Nice combination, three-punch combo by Whitley. Starting off with the jab. Well, Whitley's starting to throw those short right hands right at Rucker's whiskers. See, Rucker's doing a smart thing here. He's still pushing the fight. He's pressing him, Whitley, with the jab, not backing up.
Trying to keep his rhythm.
Yes. And you know what? You're the bigger man. You should be able to impose on the other guy. You shouldn't be backing up.
Whitley firing away. This is a turnaround round for Derrick Whitley. Dana Rucker continues to use the jab, but Whitley getting a little closer.
Rucker does know how to put his punches together with the left hand, the jab, then the right. He follows with the left hook. Classic combination. I mean, look at Whitley's face. He looks so cocksure in there that you know, I'm just going to get you, man. It's a matter of time. I'm going to get you this round. Might be the next.
Ballroom Boxing brought to you by Geico Direct. Rucker and Whitley 2. We'll be back. Bill Holmes, the ref. Ballroom Boxing is back. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. Jon Scheinman along as well. Round 6 underway through 5. Jon, how do you have it scored?
Well, I've given Whitley the last 2 rounds, but Rucker's still leading on my card after 5, 48-47. I just think he did a lot of good early work behind the jab, and now the fight's beginning to heat up. I just want to make a quick comment about what Jon Saraceno was saying about Whitley being so confident as a knockout puncher. Early in his career, he only knocked out 2 fighters in his first 21 bouts. In his last 6, the toughest fighters he's faced, he's had 4 knockouts. So I think his career has turned around as he started to envision himself as a power puncher.
Knockouts coming against Alan Watts, Napoleon Pitt, Tyler Hughes, and of course Dana Rucker a year ago. Dana Rucker with the jab, good overhand right. See the way Rucker has those gloves tucked right on the chin.
He should have them glued to his chin.
Whitley firing away. Blood continues to flow from the nose of Dana Rucker. Got to give Rucker credit. He continues to move forward and work his game plan.
Dana's had a good game plan tonight, I think.
He really has.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I think he's been able to execute it for the most part. I got him ahead going in this round by a couple of points, but it's a close fight.
Rucker trying to turn Whitley around. Rucker doing a great job of boxing in this fight.
Well, you know what? You really got to watch closely, too, because some of these punches that look like they land are not really landing. I mean, you really have to be zeroed in when you're trying to score a fight, and it's even harder on television.
Whitley covering up.
That left hook that Rucker threw looked like it landed, but it didn't.
Describe what you meant just then.
Well, you know, the only kind of a punch that can be scored is one that lands, obviously. But when you have fighters that are slipping and parrying punches, it's difficult to determine which punches are landing sometimes. I mean, you see.
So you say it looked like it landed, but it didn't, meaning Whitley pulled back as Rucker tried to deliver the blow.
Yes.
Another good boxing round for Dana Rucker as he chalks up the points. More to come in the ballroom. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. 6 rounds in the books here. Dana Rucker and Derrick Whitley, second time round for these 2 fighters. Jon Scheinman, how do you have it scored through 6?
58-56, Rucker, very, very tough fight. We saw some posturing taking place in that round, primarily by Whitley, and I thought Rucker stuck to his game plan beautifully, working behind the jab. I gave him the round.
Jon Saraceno, do you concur?
58-57, Rucker.
Rucker with the jab, continuing to pump it out with the left hand. Blood continues to flow from the nose of Dana Rucker. Rucker alert in the ring. This is the sharpest I think we've seen Dana Rucker. John, what do you think?
Well, he's probably very motivated for this fight. I'm sure he was embarrassed by what happened the first time. It was supposed to be a stepping stone fight for him. He got blasted out in the first round. I'm sure they worked very hard to prepare for the style of Whitley. And he's executing his game plan. But it's a close fight. And with Rucker's chin history, you never know.
Rucker doing a good job so far in this fight, though, sticking to his game plan.
I suspect that Whitley may have to knock him out to win this fight. I mean, even though the scoring's going to be close, I don't know if he's going to win a decision. It's a little too early to tell.
Nice clubbing left hand by Derrick Whitley. Good right hand by Whitley, and another right hand by Whitley. The blood continues to flow from the nose of Dana Rucker.
Dana's got to keep doubling up with that jab. And Dana's in terrific shape. He has just been throwing this entire fight. Now, Whitley didn't do a lot for the first 3 rounds, but Dana was punching the whole time, and he's continuing to throw a lot of combinations.
Whitley trying to fire off inside, cannot convert. And Dana Rucker continues to move forward. Good right hand by Rucker. Good body shot and a left hand by Rucker.
Well, Rucker's kind of out hustling him here a little bit, but Whitley's trying to come back.
This fight is scheduled for 10 rounds. We're in the 7th. Good double hook by Rucker. Follows it with a right hand.
Yep.
Another left hand by Rucker. Rucker doing a great job of boxing Derrick Whitley in the ballroom tonight, looking for redemption. We'll see if he finds it. Round 8, Derrick Whitley and Dana Rucker. 7 rounds have been completed. Dana Rucker's chin has held up. Jon Scheinman, what did your scorecard say?
That was the toughest round I've had to score in a long time. I'm telling you, I thought Whitley did some wonderful work early on, but Rucker's punches in the last minute were superior, and I gave him the round. He's up 68-65 on my card, and he's beginning to inch away with only 3 to go.
Rucker and Whitley. Big overhand right by Rucker.
Of course, Whitley hoping the equalizer will be that right hand. This has been a much different fight than their first encounter. That wasn't even an evening's work for Whitley.
Or Rucker, really.
It's an evening you'll never forget.
Nice combination by Whitley. And they talk about a puncher's chance. With a history between these two fighters, Whitley has to still be supremely confident. He's heating up a little bit here. Whitley fighting with some desperation.
You know, these guys are fighting for the Maryland State Championship, super middleweight, so this fight does really mean something to them. This is an important fight.
Neither fighter showing signs of fatigue here, and we're in the 8th round. Both guys very well conditioned.
Yeah, well, you'd figure they would be, knowing the stakes coming in here tonight. Whitley wanted to prove that it wasn't a fluke. First time he knocked him out in 1. And Rucker wanting to prove just the opposite, that it was a fluke.
Rucker continues to box, continues to move. Whitley slowing down. Whitley's punches are not coming right now. Rucker dominating the action here in the 8th round, John.
And also going southpaw there briefly and hitting Whitley with several shots along the ropes. A little bit of a changeup. Derrick Whitley winning, Dana Rucker winning this fight primarily with the left hand and his combination punching. Whitley from the outset looking for the home run shot. He's tried to pick it up in the middle rounds with his own combinations, but has been less successful than has Rucker, I think.
Whitley has a 6-fight winning streak coming into this fight. The first of those 6 wins came against Dana Rucker.
This is really not an easy fight for Whitley. He made it look easy the first time, but he's fighting a bigger guy with a longer reach and a guy who can box and punch.
The skills of Dana Rucker are showing through tonight. We'll be back. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing, brought to you by Toyota. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. 8 rounds history between Dana Rucker and Derrick Whitley. John Scheinman, the scorecard through 8.
78-74. Rucker pulling away here. I know there's 6 long minutes left in this fight, but if he can hold on here, this is a breakthrough bout for Dana Rucker. This is absolutely the best I've ever seen him. The most professional, the most polished, the most thoughtful, controlled. And he's not looking knockout. He just looks so terrific and relaxed. It's just the best I've ever seen him, Larry.
This is Dana Rucker, who had that great amateur career, who had the great promising professional career that was derailed by Derrick Whitley with that first-round knockout.
He really is fighting a well-controlled fight tonight. He's really in a zone, totally. I think he wanted to show people here in Glen Burnie, Maryland, that he's a much better fighter than the first time he fought Whitley, and he has done that. I've got him ahead by 3 points.
Rucker continues to fire the jab, which has been a key punch in this fight.
Really, what's dominated Whitley has been the jab of Rucker. I've got to believe his corner had a lot to do with that in training, getting him to focus in on that left hand, use it effectively and consistently.
Rucker, double left hand followed with the right. Great combination by Dana Rucker. And now blood from the nose of Derrick Whitley.
And Whitley knows it.
Dana Rucker has done a great job in this fight, sticking to his game plan, fighting within his abilities.
And Dana Rucker's really not taking a step back here as we move to the later rounds. He's not trying to protect the lead. He is attack, attack, attack.
Good strategy?
I think so, because he's in control of the fight. I think he knows what he's doing. I think he's executing it well. And I don't think he's taking unnecessary risk, as long as he keeps those gloves up.
Combination by Whitley. One of the few offensive moves by Derrick Whitley from Holyoke, Massachusetts. A lot of blood from the nose of Derrick Whitley right now.
Now Whitley fighting a little bit more desperately now, sensing time is running out. He's got to know, or got to feel, you would think, that he's behind on the scorecards.
Well, he is. Almost clearly.
Well, but he doesn't. But fighters don't know that. We don't know what the corner's telling them. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, if he's a smart fighter, he realizes it.
Round 9 winding down. Another good one for for Dana Rucker. Derrick Whitley might need a knockout to win. He's done it before. We'll be back to see if he can do it again. Action from round 9 as Dana Rucker continues to dominate the action, tattooing the body and head of a bleeding Derrick Whitley. Jon Scheinman, 3 minutes to go. Who's leading this fight?
Whitley's in a big hole now. He's down 88-83 on my card. Like I've been saying, spectacular performance by Rucker. All the questions about his jaw are out the window when he can fight like this.
What do you think, Saraceno?
I think that's a big lead. 88-84 I've got.
Well, the two unofficial judges here at ringside, Saraceno and Scheinman, the two Johns have it just about equal with Dana Rucker leading this battle. And what a sweet victory it would be for Dana Rucker if he were to hold on here, John.
Yeah, well, I think he believed all along that he was a better fighter than Whitley. And that's not to put Whitley down. And it's obvious he trained hard. He followed the strategy, the blueprint for victory, and he's carrying it out. Hats off to him.
Rucker has kept his hands held high the entire battle. Protecting the chin and using the jab. And Rucker still standing in there, Jon Saraceno. You know, is he risking it a little too much now? Doesn't he know he's ahead?
Yeah, I think at this point, I would be, you know, maybe in a little bit of a defensive on my bike mode. But I'm not so sure Rucker feels that Whitley can even hurt him now, because he's dealing a lot of punishment out to Whitley. So let's face it, he's very confident at this point in the fight. That confidence could bite you, you know where, but
of course, Whitley worn down by the assault from Dana Rucker.
Yeah, he's not doing a lot of effective punching back. He's taking a lot of shots.
I don't think Whitley has a whole lot left.
In fact, if anything, Rucker has really picked up the pace at the end of the fight and just totally pulled away. Like stepping on the gas in a Corvette.
Good left hook by Dana Rucker. Whitley trying to fire off Dana Rucker, though, with a good defensive posture, his hands held high. Whitley hanging on a little bit.
Starting to wonder if Rucker doesn't want to stop Whitley, if that's why he's not fighting like this at the end. I mean, it looks like he wants a little bit of vengeance, revenge.
Rucker's got to be careful. Whitley's knocked him out before. Rucker, though, with growing confidence with every second going by.
Really turned out to be an easy win for Rucker. A couple of rounds there in the middle, it got a little bit squirrely for him.
Crowd appreciative of the performance by Dana Rucker. From Baltimore, Maryland, Rucker hurt by Whitley, but time is out. And a very strong performance by Dana Rucker. Good sportsmanship between these two super middleweights. Will Rucker take home the victory? We'll find out in a moment. Ballroom Boxing is brought to you by Toyota, by Geico Direct, by Budweiser, the king of beers, and by 0to80.com outlet for e-business. In the ballroom, it would appear that Dana Rucker gets redemption against Derrick Whitley. That first round knockout, a thing of the past. Dana Rucker wanted to bury it tonight. I think he did.
Total domination with that left-hand jab. Let's find out who won the official fight.
Let's do it. Let's go to Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Phil Feaster of the Maryland State Athletic Commission will present the new super middleweight champion, his belt. Judge Chevalier scores it 97-93. Judge Risher scores it 98-92. And Judge Waleed scores it 97-93. And the winner and the new super middleweight champion of Maryland, Dana Rucker!
Really no surprise there. A superior boxing performance by Dana Rucker as he gets payback on Derrick Whitley. And might they do it again?
Well, we could have a rubber match. I'm not so sure what Derrick Whitley would do differently in the third fight than he did the second. It would be a very difficult fight for him. You see how happy Dana Rucker is there, getting sweet revenge here at the Ballroom in Glen Burnie, Maryland.
Dana Rucker gets it done. He gets redemption, and boy, that's got to taste sweet, John.
Very impressive victory. Showed that the first time they fought really was a fluke. Dana Rucker, the more complete all-around fighter, did it here tonight.
For John Scheinman and Jon Saraceno, I'm Larry Michael. We'll see you next time for Ballroom Boxing.